Okay, so we have our egg white and our egg yolk with a fill, and what we want to start doing is creating some dimension here, some highlights, some details, and we want to take a look at our original image, and maybe I can undim it so we can really see what's going on. And we can see that the way that this yolk looks, there's a highlight, there's a kind of a darker shadow area, there's a lighter area here, there's a little bit of a lighter area along the edge in the back, and then there's a little bit of like an area where there's some reflection where the yolk joins the egg. So we're not going to try to make this look photorealistic. We're just going to try to get the basics. We're gonna simplify it a little bit. That's one of the great things about illustration versus photography, is that we can kind of break something down to its essence. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my layers back on. Okay, so for the egg yolk, I am going to make a few shapes here. I'm going to select the egg yolk. I'm going to hit Command C to copy, Shift Command V to paste in place, and actually I am going to move this off to the side. Now I'm going to do another copy. I'm going to copy the copy, Command C, and then Shift Command V to paste in place over that. And then I'm going to move that second copy out of the way. And I'm going to change the color just so that you can see that there's a difference here. I've got two ellipses, one overlapping the other. Now this top one, the orange one, I'm going to make a little bit larger. So I'm going to select both of these. If I hit Shift, I can select the one below it without deselecting the one on top. I'm going to go to the Pathfinder window, and I'm going to choose this minus front. So it's going to cut the top shape out of the bottom, and now I have this sort of a crescent shape here. So if I move this back into place on top of the egg yolk, and then I apply a fill to this, a little bit darker than the egg yolk, then I'm starting to get this kind of a shadow, the shadow area. I'm going to create a lighter area in the front. So our light source is coming from the front, or coming from the bottom of our document toward the top. So Command C to copy, Shift Command V to paste in place. I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees, move this toward the bottom, and we'll make this a lighter color. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply an effect. I'm going to go to Effect, Stylize, Feather. Let's make sure to turn on the preview, and then just see what happens if we change this radius number. We want, if the radius is too large, you start to completely lose that shape because it gets so blurred out. So let's make it a bit smaller. And okay, let's go with that. Let's do the same thing here. We'll apply the same kind of feather on that side. All right, that's looking okay. If I want to make this shape a little bit more intense, I can Command C, Shift Command V, and it'll kind of double that up. So I like that effect. Let's see about this front part. Let's do the same thing. And I don't know, I think I'm going to just leave that one. So what I have here is I have this single highlight shape on the bottom, and then I have two shadow shapes, one on top of the other, just to make this shadow a little bit richer. All right, so we need a highlight. So I'm going to draw out an ellipse, and if we maybe this is a good time to check where that highlight is, and actually it's about right here. All right, and our highlight is going to be white. And let's go ahead and apply the feather on there. And so let's see if we can find something in between 0.1 and 0.2. No. 0.05. Let's try that. Okay, 0.05 will work on the feather. Let's make that a little bigger. All right, and then Command C, Shift Command V. So I'm pasting a duplicate right on top, and then I'm going to make that a bit smaller. So we have sort of a like a really intense highlight there. Let's diffuse that a little more. So this is all just experimenting. Let's see if there's some more detail that we can add to this egg yolk. There's a little bit of a reflection or a shine where the yolk will meet the white. I'm going to click on my yolk, this original yellow area. I'm going to Command C to copy, Shift Command V to paste in place. I'm going to send to back. Maybe just make that slightly larger. And I'm going to use white for that. And okay, I just want something very, very thin right there, just to kind of give that little bit of a reflection. Now I'm going to do the same thing again. Click on my yellow yolk, Command C, Shift Command V to paste in place. Now this I'm going to change to black, send to back. I'm going to just distort this just a bit so that it is visible on the back. And then I'm going to, let's go to feather. And let's see if we can make a nice soft drop shadow here. Now there is a drop shadow effect, but I'm going to create my own manually using an object with a feather on it, just so I have a little bit more control over the shape of that drop shadow. All right, so I don't like this little white coming out of the back here. That doesn't look right. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll distort this a little bit more. I'm going to go to the transparency window. Let's try multiply, and that will take these pixels in my shadow and it will blend it with the pixels below it. And then let's change the opacity. Let's just make it a little bit lighter. Try 50. Let's even go lighter than that. All right, and then just a little adjustment there. Okay, so I think that egg yolk is looking pretty good.